Let's take a look at question E then, which is the written answer to the question on the drought and the resulting subsidy that we've been talking about. And once again, we're asked to explain the effects of the subsidy on the participants in the market, the consumers, the producers, the government, and ultimately the effect on efficiency. So let's start by having a look at consumers and consumer surplus. We can see that before the subsidy, consumers were paying $3.60, which is there, so $3.60. And then as a result of the subsidy, consumers are paying $3. So we need to mention that in the answer. Also, before the subsidy, consumers were consuming 400,000 bottles per year, and after the subsidy, they're producing 500,000. Consuming 500,000 bottles a year. So consumers have access to more milk and are consuming more milk. And if we go back to the previous question, we can see that overall consumers were better off because consumer surplus increased by $270 million. So if we go to the answer, I've written here consumers were paying $3.60, now paying $3. Consumption increases from 400 to 500 million bottles, and consumers are better off with an overall increase of 270 million in surplus. If we look at producers, we can see that originally producers also were earning $3.60, and then after the subsidy they get a top up of a further 20 cents. So now the producer price is actually $3.80. So they get, not only do they get the $3 that the consumers pay them at the store, but then they get the 80-cent subsidy on top of that. So it's $3 plus 80 cents, giving them $3.80. And producers also see this increase in production from 400 to 500 bottles. So I've written here that producers were earning $3.60, now earning $3.80. More production of milk, that's an increase of 100 million bottles per year, as we said earlier, and producers are better off with an increase in surplus. You could also add here producers will likely enjoy more profits with higher revenues. Now if we go back and take a look at the government, well, the government is having to pay a tax of 400, I think we calculated 400 million total cost of the subsidy of the government. There it is there. So the impact on the government is the government pays 400 million in subsidies. This cost will need to come from their budget, meaning other areas of spending will need to be sacrificed. And lastly, the effect on efficiency. Efficiency will decrease. Now this is a wee trap for some. They think, well, because there's a subsidy it means the market's more efficient, but it's actually less efficient. And let's see why. Because the total subsidy of 400 is greater than the increase in surpluses to consumers and producers. Let's just consumers, which was 270 mil, and producers, which was 90 mil, which together was 360 mil. $40 mil. The difference between those two, the 400 mil and the 360 mil, represents dead weight loss and means the market is less economically efficient. Okay, there's your answer to question E.